everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Ahni. Today is a very special day because this is the first episode of the podcast. Woo! And I'm so excited to get started. Our topic that we will discuss today is the importance of good friendship. But before we get started, I have one of my best friends joining me today. I've known her for about 7 years, and actually we weren't really friends until I moved up to youth group, but over the years we've just become closer, and she's just been such a great encourager and a good listener for my rant sessions, which happen more often than I would like to admit. We've had good laughs, we've definitely cried together, and I'm honestly so glad that God brought her into my life. So without further ado, please welcome Brooke to the podcast.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing today?
For those of you who are wondering how the episodes are going to go, we're going to have a question of the day for each episode. So my question of the day for you, Brooke, is what is the most interesting place you've traveled?
Oh, probably Colorado because out west is like so pretty in the
Yeah.
mountains and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because like honestly, I haven't gone many places far out
Yeah.
of state except for like
Yeah.
Florida. So probably
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
a really cool place that I've been.
That's really cool. Did you guys fly there or drive there?
We flew.
Okay, that was probably
Yeah.
fun. I'm like terrified to get on a plane. Like I really am.
It is
like
nerve-wracking because it's like I'm thousands of feet off the ground.
Yeah, and like my sister, so for y'all that for y'all of you who don't know, I have two older sisters that live in Florida, and they fly different places. Like they've gone to like Pennsylvania and before and whatnot, and I'm just like, ain't no way I'm getting up on that. Like I'm like, I'm not getting on that plane. And one of my sisters actually is like terrified of heights. Like she's actually really
which
terrified of
one?
heights, but it's Elise.
Oh,
She's
okay.
actually terrified of heights, but she's actually been able to overcome it because she
Yeah.
like where she works, she would run like a zip line area,
Okay.
and I was like, I never saw you doing this. And she does like rock wall and
Yeah.
all this. So I was just shocked, and she like actually doesn't mind flying anymore because she's flown a few times. And so that was, that's something that I'm just like, I'm just not brave enough for that.
Yeah.
I really don't think. But so for those of you who are getting to know Brooke a little bit, she's actually getting ready to go to college, which is kind of weird to say because I usually don't have friends that are going to college. I'm getting to that age where I'm like losing my friends, and it's kind of weird. But I had a few questions for you about that. So what are you most excited about with this new phase of life?
I'm excited for like the independence, so like
Mhm.
getting to make my own decisions, which is like
Mhm.
also nerve-wracking in a way, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
getting
it can
to
be.
like
Yeah.
make my own choices.
Mhm.
Also like just making new friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's honestly that's valid. I think I'd be terrified to like have my own independence because I'm like I don't want to like go off the rocker or
Yeah.
anything. Like I'm terrified of
Go
just
crazy.
yeah, going crazy because I'm like what are you most afraid of?
Well, I mean, I'm excited to make my own decisions, but I'm also probably most afraid to make my own decisions just
Mhm.
because um I'm used to being like, "Hey mom, what do
Yeah.
you think about this?"
Yeah, you're
But then when
kind of
I'm there,
yeah.
it's like I'm making
Yeah.
like choices that could be
Yeah,
life
it's like
changing.
you're
So
like yeah,
they're
you're
so
like an
important.
actual yeah, you're like an actual adult. So you're
Yeah.
like I actually have to like pay for my own food. I have to pay for my own
Exactly.
clothes. Like yeah, that's it. That is pretty nerve-wracking. Like I've definitely thought that before. What are some lessons that you hope to learn over the next 4 years?
Not to be a procrastinator.
Mhm. Amen.
Because when I took dual enrollment, definitely
Oh
procrastination was
yeah.
a big thing
Yeah.
because I'm like, I want to do this later. I want to go have fun now,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
end up like pushing it off to later.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I want to learn is how to manage my
For
time
sure.
better.
Yeah. So how many dual enrollment classes did you start out with?
Um,
Just out of curiosity. I'm just curious.
I think I've taken maybe 6.
6?
Yeah.
Dang. I don't know what the average is for people, but that sounds like a ton for me. Yeah. Because she would, like, we'd be going to church and she'd be, like, having her computer in the car and just being like, I gotta finish this dual enrollment class. And I'm like, why are you doing that in the car right now? I mean, I've actually had to do that before, like, with certain
Yeah.
classes for school, but, like, it just seems so, you definitely mentioned it was stressful.
It was,
And so, like,
yeah.
for all of the dual enrollment students
And
out
I've
there,
had
like,
teachers actually tell
respect.
me that the dual enrollment classes are harder than actual college classes.
oh, yeah.
And I'm like, why are you making high school students do this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a lot of people do it just because they want to knock out college
Yeah.
classes, but like it's just too much stress for me. So I'm just not doing it because I'm just
Yeah.
like I really just don't
One thing
like
I would recommend is definitely don't take like too many classes.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like I took 3
Mhm.
on top of my other high school classes,
Yeah.
and it was a lot.
yeah,
So
yeah, that probably was hard. And since you're technically you're done, because technically y'all's last day was today, so
Yeah.
technically you're done. But like, since you were a senior, graduation on top of all the dual enrollment
Yeah.
classes was probably really stressful.
Yeah.
Um,
The good thing
yeah.
was is we didn't start working on our speeches till after I was finished, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
nice.
true. Yeah, that's I guess that's valid. So, like I said before, to all the dual enrollment students out there, like respect. Like I am so like y'all are awesome. Um, like I said before, our topic today that we're discussing is the importance of good friends, and I chose this topic because one, Brooke is one of my best friends, and two, since she's going off to college, she said before that she wants to make like more friends, but you also like since like you said before also like since you're making your own decisions,
Yeah.
you're gonna like have to actually make your own decisions about your own friends. Like you
Yeah,
have to
because
like
I've been
look for
talking about
yeah.
that a little bit with my principal, and it's
Mhm.
like some of those friends are like can
Mhm.
either like help you change your life for the better
Yeah.
or for the bad, because that's a very critical like
Mhm.
period in your life.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you like your parents can tell you like my mom and I actually just had this conversation the other day, but like your parents can tell you like, "Hey, they're not really like the greatest
Yeah.
influence on you, so I would kind of just watch what they say and watch
Yeah.
what you do around them." And it's like you may not see that because you're
Yeah.
not really looking for a fault in that person because you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my goodness, she just like complimented me on my shirt. Like that's so nice of her."
Yeah.
So like I think that too putting that in, it's like, and obviously like you do have to pray about it, like you have to
Yes.
pray about who you are gonna start a relationship with, not like romantically but just like friends wise.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important to choose your friends wisely?
I do, because I
Yeah.
feel like I kind of already said it,
Mhm.
like they can either help you make right decisions or wrong
Mhm.
decisions, because like they influence you so much whether you
Yeah.
realize it or not.
Yeah, oh,
Because when
yeah.
I'm around my friends, I'm like, oh, I picked
Mhm.
up a little saying from one of my
Yeah.
friends, and I repeat
Yeah.
it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I have to admit that has happened to me before. And and sometimes it's like I don't hang around with bad people, but like
Yeah.
sometimes with people that I know just like they don't have the same like standards or
Yeah.
you know things like I do. It's kind of like I've seen that they don't have the same like they don't use the same language I do. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like I start like acting like them because I'm like, "Oh wow, that sounds so cool. That sounds
Yeah.
so much fun to say." So you start like realizing your it's like your personality kind of starts to become like
Yeah.
theirs. And actually this morning my mom was this is gonna sound hilarious, but my mom was throwing out some fruit because it was
Yeah.
like bad. And she told me there was a bible story in this, but she was saying like when you have like a bag, like there was a bag of lemons, and we have this like big fruit bowl, and when there's one bad lemon in the bottom of the fruit bowl, it kind of makes all of
Yeah.
the others bad. And I was
It's
like,
kind of like when you have mold,
yeah.
it spreads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of like when you have a friend that's like influencing this one group, it's like that group over time will start acting like that person, and
Yeah.
then it'll kind of start like spreading a little bit more. And it may not be true for some other people, like cuz some people that, if there's like a group of people that are just like really like they're good influences on that person, and they're like there to be a light and
Yeah.
everything to them, they might like convert that person over. But
Yeah.
for the most part, if you don't like set boundaries for yourself and
Yeah.
watch yourself, that person may
Yeah,
start
you have
like
to be very careful, because I know
mhm
people have said like, I can change this person, and it's like
yeah,
be careful, they might change you.
that's so true. Like, and I I'm gonna be completely honest, like when people say I can change them, I'm like, can you though?
Yeah.
Like, can you actually like
It's like Jesus
change?
can only change
Yes,
people.
yes, like can you actually change how they think if they've been doing this for so
Yeah.
long? And especially like this is kind of a side note, we're going off on a little rabbit trail, but kind of like with dating, it's like when the girl's like I can change him, I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, he's been doing this for so
Yeah.
long, and if he's been doing this with other girls, he's not gonna
Exactly.
change. He's
It's
gonna
like
just
if he's grown up doing
mm-hmm.
this, it's going to be really
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
for him to
Especially if he's
change.
like 17, 18. His
Yeah.
mind's already made up. So
Exactly.
like there's no need to think,
Because like
oh,
I
like
hear people say all the time, like typically your early teenage years is when you
mhm. Yeah.
decide what your worldview
Yeah.
is, and so like
Yeah.
those years is like determining what kind of person you're gonna
Mhm.
be.
Mhm. Yeah. And it's like, and yes, you can change him. Like my uncle, he wasn't saved for like a really really long time, and my aunt just kept praying and praying and
Yeah.
praying for him, and he did eventually get saved. But like and so in that sense, yes, they can change, but like just if they're, if they're not a Christian and you are, and you think that you can like kind of convert them over, 9 out of 10,
Yeah.
it's not like maybe less than that. It's like not very common. It's kind of that, like you said, they end up changing
Mhm.
like the person that
Yeah.
like the person who's trying to influence, they get changed more than they try and change the person. Um, but anyway, so that's a little bit of advice for you guys. Another thing I was gonna say about like choosing your friends wisely is my dad, he's told me before, like if you hang out with a crowd, so like let's say you're not a bad person, like you're not like drinking or cussing or doing
Yeah.
whatever, but you're in like a car with these people and
Yeah.
they get pulled over, you may not have been doing those things, but
Yeah.
you are still associated with that
Yeah.
person because, or with that group of people, because you were in the car with
Yeah.
them. So it's like that cop is not going to be like, oh yeah, you're a good person. He's gonna
Yeah.
automatically think that
Yeah.
you're part of that group that
Yeah.
was swerving or drinking. So it's kind of just like, y'all, just be mindful of
Yeah.
who your friends are, and like who you like decide to hang out with, and how you, like we've said so many times before, like how you let them influence you, because you really do let them, like you're gonna
Yeah.
let them do stuff that's gonna like affect how you think and your personality. And I kind of wanted to bring like Proverbs 22:24 through 25. It says, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go. And this kind of is hard to like not contradict, I guess, but like Proverbs 17:17 says, a Proverbs, my bad. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So when we're talking about like changing, trying to change your friends, it's like you do love them, but there is a difference between loving them and distancing yourself
Mhm.
to where you're not affected so
Yeah.
much. Um, and
Because there is a friend that I've had to distance
mhm,
myself from, and I'm like, I
yeah,
love her so
yeah,
much, but it's
yeah,
like she's making some not great choices, so I'm
mhm,
kind of having to like back away
mhm,
and be like, I love you, but like I
yeah,
can't associate
yeah,
myself with that. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and that can be hard because it's like you really, I think, because knowing you and me, it's like we're both, when we make new friends, it's like we really want to be very loyal to that person,
yeah,
because we just like, because sometimes people have left us and we're just
yeah,
like, we don't want anybody to feel the same way.
yeah,
So like I know that about you and me, and so like with somebody that we love is like starting to go down a path that we're like, we really can't follow you in that, and they're like, why are you not like, why are you not
yeah,
trying to be my friend, like do you want to hang out, and you're like, no, not really, like
yeah,
and it's hard because you really do want to love that person.
yeah,
It's like in the Bible says a friend loves at all times, but like there is a difference between loving somebody and distancing yourself,
yeah,
because you don't want them to influence you so much that you start going down that path and you're
yeah.
like, no, never mind. Um, Another question I was gonna ask is, how would you? It's kind of like on the long lines what we just said, but how would you deal with someone who doesn't like you as like? Because I'm a people pleaser, so
Yeah.
like, how would you deal with someone that doesn't like you as a people pleaser?
That's hard because definitely I probably am a people pleaser too.
Mhm.
Like I try not to care as much what people think about me, but I know I do
Mhm.
because sometimes when I'm like,
Yeah.
how is that? Like, what were they meaning by something they said or
Yeah.
something? Like I am
Yeah.
a
And
people
if it's
pleaser.
just a friend,
Yeah.
like you want to be friends with,
It's hard because like I feel like you have to tell yourself like what your value is in Christ, and it's like
Mhm.
if they don't
You have to take
see,
a stand. Like
yeah, it's like if
you
they don't
do.
see the treasure that you are, then
Yeah.
I mean you kind of really can't do anything
Yeah.
about it. You
And
just have to,
yeah. Yeah, and it's like, I'm just gonna say this now, because if a friend is literally treating you like trash, you don't have to stay with
no.
them. Like I'm telling y'all, you do not
Get you
have to
some
stay with
good
them.
friends.
Yes, like get you some good friends that are gonna scream praise by Brandon Lake in a car with
Yeah.
you, like going down the highway, okay? Like this, you don't have to stay with them. And you like, and some people can be like manipulative,
Yeah.
and just be like, well, if you leave me, I'm gonna go into deep depression. Like,
Yeah.
no, they're not. They'll be fine.
No.
They're gonna find somebody
Yeah.
else. Like they'll be fine. Um,
uh,
but like you don't have to stay with someone who's treating you like trash. Like I'm
yeah.
telling you, you can do it. And like you might be asking me like, well, have you ever had to go through that? No, but I've had to distance myself
Yeah.
before from someone that I felt was just not like being a true friend to me. So like
Yeah.
I haven't gone through something so bad, but like I will tell y'all, you don't have to stay with that person if
Yeah.
you don't want to, because you're your own person and you choose the friends that, you know, you're gonna make. And um it's it's kind of hard with like when you want to love somebody and it's like you love somebody but you hate them at the same time. Like this is kind of going in a little bit of a different direction, so I'm
Yeah.
sorry if this is y'all, if this is like abrupt stop, but like I'm just trying to follow along with my notes and I'm like feel a little scattered. But it's kind of like the Matthew 5:44 says, "But I say to you, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you." So when you have a friend that just really, like I said before, like just doesn't care about your feelings and doesn't really want to be there for you, like a
Yeah.
good friend should, you know, be loyal at times. And, you know, it's hard to forgive somebody when they're mean to you, but like
Yeah.
if I'm in a mood, I know that my friends are going to be like, she'll be okay in a second. Like she'll be okay in a
Just
second.
give her a
Give
minute.
her a minute. Just give her a minute. She'll be okay. But like I know that it's hard to follow, you know, what God says in this verse, because it's like you don't want to love that person when they're mean
Yeah.
to you, because
It's like they were mean to me. I want to get them back
yeah.
because, they were a jerk to me. So,
Yeah, and it's like you feel like you have the right to feel like they don't need your forgiveness or they don't need your grace or anything, because you're like, I feel comfortable being like angry towards them.
yeah.
You know, like I feel comfortable
It's
with
like you almost kind of like justify yourself in it because you're like, I mean, I kind of have a right because of what they did
yeah.
to me.
Yeah. And I feel bad. I feel guilty because I've definitely thought that before.
Yeah.
Like they don't need my forgiveness because
Yeah.
they were the ones who was being jerk to me, and I'm like, no, they don't deserve none of that. Like we're not doing that here.
Yeah.
And I think it's really hard for me to do, because I definitely, that is a struggle for me. Like being angry at somebody is a
Yeah.
struggle for me, and like I always think that I'm the person in the wrong. So like when I realize that I'm not the person in the wrong, I'm like take a step back, like okay, I need to calm down. Like
Yeah.
this was my fault. Like I do need to go apologize. And um yeah, have you ever heard of apologetic languages? So it's like love languages, but it's like apologetic languages. So like mine, I want someone to come say sorry to me and
Okay.
personally like apologize to me. So like what would you say is like an apologetic language for you? Like if someone did something mean to you.
How would I want them to
Like how would you want
okay.
them to respond to you?
Well, first of all, I feel like it should be like personal. Like I hate it when people are like do it over text or a phone call. I'm like, I want you to come to me and personally apologize.
You're like, I need to see your face.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I guess that's fair enough. And I think what I do is I'm like, I want someone to like you said, like I want them to acknowledge that they were
that they're wrong.
Yes, that they were wrong and that they need to say sorry to me. And sometimes somebody once they apologized to me and I didn't even know like it was a wrong thing. They just apologized to me and I was like, for what? I was like, I honestly don't, I don't know why you're apologizing to me, but like okay, thank you. Like it was kind of weird in that situation, because I was like, I didn't know how to respond when they came up and and apologized to me.
Yeah.
But I think what I've learned about apologizing, and I'm still working on it, but I think what I've learned with apologizing is like it actually is kind of embarrassing for me to apologize to somebody, because you have to, like I said, you have to acknowledge.
It's like you have to
that,
humble yourself and be like, I was wrong.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that because it's like your own sinful nature just doesn't want to do it.
No,
it's like
they're like, I'm right.
Yeah, like I'm always right in a situation, and as girls, we like being right.
We
Like,
do.
we don't like being wrong, especially if it's a guy.
Yeah,
we don't want to be wrong. We want to be right, and I think it's like 75% of the time, we're right. But I guess it just depends. Like I hope I'm right, and sometimes it's embarrassing to be wrong, and they're like, and then you realize in the moment that you're wrong, and you're like, this is awkward. Like, like this is really awkward. I don't want to. Like, I don't want to do it. And this verse, Romans 12:18 is like so convicting for me because it says, if it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. And there are some people at school that I don't want to live peaceably with. And I'm sure you understand the
Yeah.
frustration of, you know, not liking somebody.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to encounter a lot of people at college that
Yeah.
are just not going to like you. Like,
Yeah.
'cause especially if you go to a college that, like, and this is not like downing anybody or insulting anybody that's from the north, but like people that are like, you know, from the north and the south, it's like two different countries,
Yeah.
I feel like, or two different worlds. And so it's like they are not gonna appreciate you saying, oh hey, what's up. They're gonna be
Yeah.
like, no, like I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly.
talking.
It's like Southern people are like, hey
Yes.
y'all, what's
Yes,
up?
I know. And like I remember one of my friends, she moved from Georgia to Virginia, and she said y'all around one of her friends, and they all were like, what is y'all? And I was like, it's actually okay, so I just took Latin for 2 years, and y'all is in the Latin book. So we actually are speaking the right language, believe it or not. So I'm like, see, y'all is in a Latin book. It's like perfect English, but you know, I think it's just depends on the accent.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna I want to kind of backtrack a little bit because I know we said I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a rabbit trail. I know we said apologetic languages when you said like you want somebody to come up to you personally, you want to see them face to face. Do you think that's because like some of the people that you've like been hurt by have kind of finished things over text and not actually personally come and talk to you? Like
probably. So
and if you don't want to share anything, you don't have to.
I'm just gonna go off track here. And
no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, when I was in a relationship, the person that I was with did end it over a phone call, and I just think that's probably why, because like I would want them to come in personally do it just because I've had a bad experience over.
Yeah. It's kind of like a little bit of PTSD. Like you're like, I don't appreciate this. Like this made me feel uncomfortable. So like,
and I also feel like it can just seem like more heartfelt and genuine if they do it in person.
So
rather
you
than...
can see their facial expression.
Yeah.
Because I think what's so hard about texting a friend over the phone if you're arguing with that person, or you know, friend or boyfriend, whatever your situation you're in, they can have any type of tone behind the text. So like they don't have to, like they could be like whatever, like and sound super happy over the text.
This
like
is
and
like kind of getting off a little bit, but I saw something
like
on Pinterest and it was like, what if you could see what everybody typed in before like they backed out? And I was like, oh.
You're like,
especially if you could see how they felt in that moment, like their emotion behind that.
Because I know that like when I put an exclamation point at the end of a text, I'm like, I'm actually really not feeling this. I'm just putting this there.
It's like, I'm happy for you, but I'm probably not actually that excited.
And so kind of to do a little bit more backtracking. So, and you don't have to tell us more than we need to know, but like with your relationship, kind of like walk me through a little bit of how you found yourself like healing from that, if you don't mind. Like, because I know that's kind of...
It took a lot of time. I feel like just time to like think things through and then see how God's plan was unfolding afterwards. Because like after that happened, I can be like, oh, God was protecting me.
And like I said earlier in the podcast, I have 2 older sisters, and so I've seen like breakups and relationships, and
I get such good relationship advice.
Well,
I'm like,
no, I'm telling you, it's just because of my sisters, and I've just somewhat learned from observing, and you will learn, like I promise you will learn a lot of things over, because like y'all, we're not that old. Like I said, we're literally just, we're like little babies. Like we're tweens. Like we're not that old, so like we still have a long way to go, and we still have a lot to learn, but like we're the time that we're at in right now, we can give some pretty good advice. So like, you know, if
I also feel like just letting go, like learning how to just let go and be like, that's the past. It's in the past. And just
and also just so y'all know, I had no idea that any of this stuff was going on with her and her relationship. So when she told me all of this, I was like, what has been going on? Like, you hadn't told me any of this. Like, why didn't you just call me?
Crazy.
Like, because she just kind of like laid it all out for me one time, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh. I was like, dang. It's like, I didn't know this was going on. I'm so sorry. And so, like,
Yeah,
And
we've definitely had plenty of cry sessions and then like
yes,
just
yes,
ranting sessions.
yes, because like we were talking about actually earlier today, like our standards for guys is so high
Yeah.
because we read books and we watch Enola Holmes.
Exactly.
Like that is literally, and we look at Pinterest boards. Like
And
so,
also like I don't know if you agree with me on this, but like Little House on the Prairie, that's
yeah.
a good
Okay,
husband right
okay,
there.
okay. Here's the thing. So for y'all, just so y'all know, y'all might hate me for saying this. I am not a huge fan of Little House on the Prairie, and most of my friends know that about me. I'm just not. I think because as growing up, my mom wanted us to watch it, so we
Yeah.
were kind of forced to watch it, and I just didn't like it because it wasn't like I guess me being the youngest, I was just used to like Doc McStuffins, and so
Yeah.
like all of
So
the
just like the
the
modern
more modern,
yeah,
the more
stuff.
modern
Yeah.
stuff, and so I just didn't like Little House on the Prairie, and I was just like, this is so boring. And there was always like there was some traumatic stuff
Yeah,
on Little House on the
exactly.
Prairie that a 7-year-old should not have been watching. But yeah, no, I mean, I understand the aspect of like with Paul, like how hard he works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
And also, I feel like just seeing our parents' marriages and
That's
their
true.
standards, and then
Mhm.
them like pouring that into us has helped us be
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is what we want, and this is what we don't want.
Yeah.
And also, like for me personally, going through a relationship has been like, oh, that's what I don't want in
Yeah,
character.
you're
This
like,
is what I do want.
No. We're not going there. Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember seeing you interact with your ex like a few times, and I was like, oh, he seems nice. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, and I was like, oh, they're cute, but then like that's all I
Then
saw.
hearing the after
yeah,
stuff.
then hearing the after stuff. That's all I saw. So
And
like
see,
when
like it definitely taught me like there were parts of that relationship that I'm like, oh yeah, I do want my future spouse to do that when we are in a relationship. And
Yeah.
then some stuff I was like,
You're like, no.
No.
You're like, okay, where did this come from? Like all of a sudden you're just like, oh, okay, like yeah. Cause yeah, so like we said earlier, I'm just gonna like repeat it again. Like this dude actually just broke off the relationship over text
Yeah.
messages. Like that's not okay.
Yeah, he like called me at least, but
Yeah.
he didn't do it personally.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And you're kind of like at that point you're like, why didn't you just like talk
Like,
to
just
me
man
face to face?
up
Like
and talk to me face to
literally just
face.
talk to me face to face because and is it okay if I say a couple things about
Yeah.
like so she said it's okay like if there's somebody else like please just tell me, and he just didn't do it. He just was like whatever, like I
Yeah.
was like what a jerk, like I was like oh my
Ugh.
goodness. And you know what's crazy is we've actually talked about this so many times before, but like Brooke told me that her parents told her like, hey, I'm kind of seeing this and
Yeah.
this guy, like just be warned.
Yeah.
And she said, I had no idea. Like,
I didn't. So
like-
like my mom had talked to me earlier today and she was like, so we've seen that he's starting to distance himself.
Mhm.
We're just gonna warn you that this might be coming up. And I was like, oh, he's just gonna call me, reassure
Yeah.
me, it's gonna be fine. And then later it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, kind of, I'm going to draw this out just a little bit, but like kind of explain like, this is just kind of like for people who want to know the tea. Like this isn't, this isn't really like advice. I mean, we are investing our advice on
Yes.
relationships, but so kind of like tell us just a little bit about like after your mom said that, kind of like what you went through leading up to him like
I was
texting
very
you.
anxious because like, okay, talking to him that day, I could see that. And then I was like,
because now you were aware of it. Like you
yeah,
were
I was aware of it, and
Yeah.
it started to become more noticeable. And I was anxious, of course. And then what went through my mind is, oh, it'll be fine. He'll just
Mhm.
reassure me. And then as time got closer, I was like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You're like, oh, you're like, he hasn't texted me for
Exactly.
a day. That's weird. Like,
And then he got on the phone call and started talking. I was like, oh,
Mm,
okay.
mhm, yeah. And it kind of like, I know when you were telling me, it shocked me, but I could see on your face that it would like had shocked you, and you
It
were
did.
like, "What is this?" Like I thought we were going.
It came out of the
strong,
blue.
like-
It was like
yeah.
everything seemed fine, and then
Mhm.
he started to act weirdly, and then
Yeah.
it just happened.
Yeah. And to like, so just so y'all know, like, we're only saying this because we want people to like understand that if this guy is like starting to distance himself from you, and you just like are starting to see certain signs, it's like just ask him about it and just
Yeah.
be like, okay, like, is this is this it? Like, are we done? Like, you know,
Yeah.
and honestly, like, just start praying about it because,
Yeah.
like, I don't think I realized until, like, these past couple years how, like, powerful prayer is because, like, I've definitely had so many conversations with God and just have been like, oh my goodness, like, can you please help me see this? And,
Yeah.
like, within a matter of a few hours, I'll see something that he'll show me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't see this earlier, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, y'all just, like, pray through it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that flippantly, and I'm not saying that just, like, oh, yeah, you can just pray over it,
Yeah.
whatnot. But, like, actually genuinely do pray about it because he will help you
Yeah.
see through it, and, like, I mean, Brooke has a testament of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I
Something else I
said,
would say is like tell yourself it's okay to let go.
yeah.
Because for me, I love big. When I care about someone, you know, I
Yeah.
care about them like a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I went through that, it was like, yeah, it's gonna take me some time to get over
Yeah.
him, but
Yeah.
like be okay to let yourself let go.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's okay to, after you let go, it is okay to let yourself, like,
yes.
hurt, like, feel
Yes,
all
it
of
is.
that hurt.
And I was like, it's okay for it to come rushing back. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And it's,
And like,
yeah.
and then I was like the amount of times that I'd be like, because like, you know, sometimes you would feel guilty, but it's like it's okay
Yeah,
to let go
it's,
and
yeah.
move on.
Yeah, because you, like, how long did you and him date for?
6 months.
6
About
months.
6
Okay,
months,
okay.
yeah.
So, like, for people, like, that is a long time. And for
Yeah.
people who have dated for longer than that, like, if you're nearing the end of high school or you're, like, in the middle of high school and you're just kind of like, we've been dating for so long and he just all of a sudden broke it off, like,
Yeah.
it's okay. You've loved that person for so long,
Yeah.
like, that your heart is just like, it's not like you can just turn off a switch
Exactly.
and literally
For some
stop
of
your
these
emotion.
girls who are like getting in a relationship after they just break up, I'm like, I can't do that.
I know.
I personally could not do
Yeah,
that.
I personally, no, it's difficult. Like,
It
it's
is.
hard, and, you know, so I think our time is up. This has actually
Okay.
been so much fun,
It
but
has.
I'm just gonna ask real quick. So, a few words of wisdom from a college, almost college student. What would you, like, what is the best piece of advice that you could give somebody?
Don't lose your focus on God, because I know for me, I can get so busy that it just gets pushed off, and then I'm like, oh, I'll read my Bible later, and it never ends up happening.
Yeah.
And so one thing I would say is like strive to keep God first. And I know like no one's perfect, so it's like there are gonna be days that it's really hard, but like something I would say is try to always make time for that, because I could see like where I got so busy and I would just push it off.
Yeah, that's really good. So, but thank you, Brooke, for joining in and just, like, telling us literally your whole life story. I hope you guys have learned this or learned something from this, and as always, stay tuned.